Okay, so we're going to get into numbering systems right now. What we're going to do first is, my handwriting is terrible, so I'm going to try to use text as much as I can. But I'm going to do it all on this paint, in Paint, strictly because, let's scale this up. So let's do 36. 36. Let's scale this up. Yep. Okay. So my handwriting's bad, but I want to show that this is, we're going to do as simple as we can, right? And what an easier way to show how simple it is if we use Paint, right? If I can do it in Paint, then I mean, it's pretty easy to understand, hopefully. I'm not using any special programs or anything like that. Calculator is not bad to use, but I recommend not using a calculator when you're first learning this. So I'm going to put a space between each of these because I don't want you to view that as a full number. So this here is decimal system, right? That's the decimal system. These are the available digits you have, 0 through 9. There's 10 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A lot of people, I don't know why, but it is like your brain's kind of sometimes like, oh, there's 9 digits here because I see a 9, but the truth is 0 is an actual digit. 0 is a representation. So that's the other thing. When you're looking at computers, you need to get your mind to understand that the number that you're seeing is a representation of a underlying value, right? I see a number, there's a value behind that. The same way as if I say I have these two glass cubes, right? If I write the number 2 somewhere, right, that is just a representation of these two physical things, of the value of these two physical things. They're not, don't look at a number and instantly look for a value behind it, that, or assign it to a value in your head. That's kind of what breaks people from from what I've seen is they'll look at like a binary digit, a binary number, and like your number, you start looking in your head, you're like, it's 111. You're like, oh wait, no, that's 111, which is not 11. That is actually 427. That's 7, right? So 0, 1, 1, 1 would be 7. But we'll go into that. Right now, we're going to talk about how this decimal system actually works, right? When we're counting, we're actually counting like this, right? So when we're counting 0 all the way up to 9, and 0, 8, 0, 9, 10, right? So we're going to count up to 10 now. But what's actually occurring here, right, when we're counting, is there's actually a 0 in the tens column. We just ignore it because we're people and we don't like writing extra stuff. But this is the exact same sequence of numbers, right? The 0 here does nothing. And that is because, once again, this is a representation of a value. I could do this in decimal, right? And I would say that there's a 0 in the 100 columns, a 1 in the 10 columns, and a 0 in the 1s columns. That's just the way that we represent those numbers. And the reason why it occurs like that is because when we get to 0, 9, right, after we've gone through 0, 1 all the way up to 0, 9, we then run out of digits, right? Our available digits are right here. We have a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, and 9. We have these, this is the representations we have. We're out of representations. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to reset. We're going to then say, okay, well, there was a 0 here. Let's increase that to a 1. We're going to fall back to a 0 there. And then the same thing occurs, right? We start incrementing all the way up to, you get into 19, right? And then, well, what occurs? Well, I'm out of digits again. I've used 0 through 9 in this column. We're now doing 20, right? And then we count up. Too many people, at least that I've seen, and it's like I work with a lot of people, they don't view numbers like that, right? They don't view that, oh, I ran out of ways to show this value, so I am carrying, and I am now increasing this next column, so that I can represent these numbers again. Once again, it's a representation for an underlying value. So, that said, that is decimal. I'm actually going to break up the video right here for decimal, and then I'll go into binary, we'll do octal, and then we'll do hex, and then at the end I'll have a video that talks about the conversion between them and what it is. So